Today is all about you, Cancer. We're going to deep dive into the psychology of the sign of Cancer. If you are a Cancer person, like you have a lot of planets in Cancer in your birth chart, or you're interested in someone or you're with someone who has a lot of Cancer, this video is for you. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Mina, your favorite Pisces astrologer, and today we're having a video all about the sign of Cancer, the sign ruled by the moon that's always changing every single month. It's you, Cancer. It's all about you today, baby. And I did promise you guys this, so I'm so excited to deliver. Keep in mind, this is a general discussion. We almost always need to consider the whole birth chart. And I come in peace. Most importantly, I come in peace. I don't want to make any Cancers angry. I'm one of you. I have a Cancer moon. Even though I'm your favorite Pisces astrologer, I do have a Cancer moon, and I know how difficult the Cancer journey is for people with a lot of Cancer in their birth chart. I come in peace. I only want to make your lives better. Make sure you watch the whole video because at some point, I don't know when, I'm going to mention what Cancer's biggest weakness is. Before we get into the interesting details of today's video, I do want to announce that I have a new website. Go to www.midnightzero.astrology.com and check it out. Let me know what you think in the comments. All right, so I had a lot of trouble doing this video because it's straight from the heart. And when those videos are straight from the heart, they're unscripted, but I had to give it some form because I have so much to say about the sign of Cancer. So we're going to narrow it down. Our deep dive today is going to be about the two main types of Cancer people. I will tell you those types and you can figure out which one you are, and I will give you tools on how to improve that energy so you can experience more love in your life, which every Cancer wants to be loved and they have so much love to give. Honestly, if you have not been loved by someone with Cancer in their chart, even though they're difficult, I know you're missing out. It is very special. Um, so yeah, what types of Cancer? So we already know, if you're here, you know that Cancer is ruled by the moon, and the moon's kind of a little codependent. And I know that's a Cancer word, kind of, let's just be honest. It's very codependent in terms of its nature, its relationship with the sun. And Cancers do like to be a part of someone else's journey. And it's the archetype of the mother, like their identity disappears and they take care, they nurture someone else. Um, this is just how it goes. But what two types of Cancers are there? Well, there is the baby type Cancer and there's the mama bear Cancer. And of course, a Cancer person can float between these two, or you might be one or the other. Like, it's up to you to decide. But I'm just going to discuss it. So if you're a baby type Cancer, I'm sure you're adorable, but these are really difficult people to deal with because, yes, while Cancer is associated with the mother, it's also associated with childhood and infancy. It's a very young energy. It's the youngest water sign. And a lot of times when people are baby type Cancers, they honestly give the sign of Cancer a bad name. I was just watching an episode on the Astrology podcast, which is a great educational resource if you want to learn astrology. They're super big astrology nerds, very well read. There was a guest astrologer. Her name was Isa Nakazawa. And she said she has a lot of clients who don't relate to the crybaby Cancer motif, like the caricature. And I automatically, in my brain, I was like, Cancer sons, Cancer sun people, especially the men, they have a very hard shell. Remember, Cancer is symbolized by the crab, which it has a really hard shell, but it's really ooey gooey inside, soft. And I do think because of our societal standards that we enforce on men, that they can't emote, even though it's getting a little bit better, a little bit better. that's still present. So I think Cancer Sun men, or if you identify with masculine energy, they inside are probably very feminine because Cancer's a feminine sign and they have a lot of feelings. Yet I think they feel the pressure to keep that all in. And even my Cancer Sun ladies and theys, I think you guys are like the toughest Cancer type of people, much tougher to the outside world than like a Cancer rising or a Cancer moon. So I just wanted to get that out there that not every Cancer is going to relate to being emotional. But anyway, let me continue with the Cancer baby archetype. So when we think of a baby, how it screams, it throws tantrums, it has the cute little giggles, it does not have communication yet. A baby does not have the ability to communicate at all, to have language until they're about 12 to 18 months old. So they literally have to use those emotions, those raw emotions, to send signals to their caregiver, whether that's the mom or the dad or both of them or someone else, in order to get its basic survival needs met. It's kind of a must. It's not an option for a baby to not do that. So whoever the caretaker is, they have to mind read. They have to guess. They have to do a lot of observation to figure out what upsets their baby. What does their baby like? What makes their baby sad? I mean, all these things, what are their favorite foods? They have to really put so much work into learning this little tiny human that has limited communication skills. And of course, the ability to use language as they get older becomes more advanced. It's called the language acquisition center in your brain. Yet, it's still an ongoing process where you're not able to reason and communicate with this baby fully. So you just have to do a lot of guesswork. And when you're a baby type Cancer, whether you intentionally do this or not, you are putting the burden on everyone around you to mother you. You probably have a network of moms that just have to guess what you're feeling without you communicating. And I know it's scary being a Cancer person. Trust me, I know you have these mood swings. And just like the moon changes phases every 30 days, like that's a lot of change within a relatively small window of time, so it can be scary to be a Cancer, especially if you're not taught how to self-regulate your emotions, to self-soothe yourself. You inadvertently put that work on other people, and even though if you talk to a mom, a good one, they will tell you how much they love their baby, but they are exhausted dealing with that type of stress because it's a lot of hard work. And when you're an adult baby Cancer, you might be really wearing people out by not learning your emotions, by not learning how to regulate, and by not communicating what you need because you're just relying on this network of moms. And if you are this type of Cancer and you want to change, first step, please appreciate all those networks of moms that are helping you. And there is a light at the end of the tunnel, my baby Cancers. I mean, you can, I mean, I know this is a little risky for me to say, but, and it sounds basic, but going to therapy, paying a professional to listen to your feelings, because Cancer is a water sign, they have tons of feelings, and to help you process them is going to help you grow up. Because even if a Cancer is 30 or 50 years old, if they don't develop as a baby Cancer, if they don't develop those skills to regulate their emotions, they can come off as a incredibly emotionally immature, and not everyone wants to deal with that. Well, maybe another Cancer. But yeah, it's really difficult. So empower yourself, my baby Cancers, because the longer you go on like this with your network of moms regulating you instead of yourself, you are reducing yourself intellectually to a child, no matter how old you are. And that's just not an empowered place to be in your life. And even if you don't want a therapist, even if it's a life coach, just some professional that you're literally paying money to listen to your feelings and to help you process them, that is a way for you to respect yourself, and everyone around you is going to respect you, at least the quality people, for taking that brave step, my baby cancers. Um, so what's the second type of cancer is the mama bear. So the mama bear cancers, maybe when they were young, they were around a lot of unstable adults or maybe even siblings too, emotionally unstable people, and they just got into the routine of, even at a young age, of mothering and nurturing everyone around them and helping everyone be emotionally safe, because safety is a huge thing for cancers, emotional safety, because they can be quite insecure creatures, especially if they have bad childhoods. Whenever I hear that a cancer person had a bad childhood, my heart sinks, because cancer is the sign associated with the past. So even though a bad childhood affects anyone and everyone, no matter what your birth chart is, cancer are the people that cling. They are stage 5 clingers. They will hold on to that awful past. And it's really hard for them to bust out of it, to escape it. So my heart just drops for my hurting cancers that had a bad upbringing and that foundation's kind of broken. But anyway, mama bear cancers are just used to taking care of everyone else and not themselves. Just like a I think many actual mothers get into this habit where they're just tending to everyone, their kids, their husband, their family, and no one is taking them out on a date. No one's telling them thank you. It is, I think, from my observation, a very thankless job. And mama bear cancers can just experience emotional burnout because they feel like a dried up crab. Like no one is watering them, no one is emotionally investing in them. And this is a sign, cancers are probably, like, out of all the water signs, the one water sign with the most emotional expectations out of other people. Even the mama bears that take care of everyone, they reach a point where they want investment back in them. They do. And a lot of the time, mama bear cancers, just like baby cancers, they probably know their emotions and their needs, but there's a fear of stating them, because cancers, just like Capricorns, do not let their tough exterior fool you. The opposite sign is just as sensitive to rejection. Cancers, especially mama bear cancers, have a big, you know, rejection wound, because probably when they were kids, they had to take care of everyone else. They did not have the opportunity to just be a child and to explore their own needs. So the fear of stating what you need and being denied is awful for a mama bear cancer. What's annoying about mama bear cancers? Well, it's kind of similar. Remember when you were a teenager and if you had a good mom, they're just overbearing, like too much love, too much care. There is such a thing. That's how mama bear cancers, I think, get annoying. And also just the pent up cancer rage that can happen with mama bear cancers because they're not getting their needs met, probably because they're not communicating or they're with a low quality person. That will come out because no one can out passive aggressive a cancer person. No one, no one, no one, no one. So I would say mama bear cancers, make yourself count. Someone cannot emotionally invest in you if you're not giving them, words behind your feelings and needs. That needs to be stated, because even other water signs who are very intuitive, no one is as intuitive as Cancer, though. They just have that gut intuition that words cannot describe. You just have to be a Cancer to understand it. Even if you got with a Pisces or a Scorpio or even another Cancer, there's gonna be times where they cannot mind read, that they cannot anticipate your need, that they will need explicit extra instructions from you. And is it scary? Of course, but I would say mama bear cancers take that risk. And if someone denies you repetitively when you're communicating, that is a sign that that is not a good person for you. And here we go into the spicy part of this video. In the beginning, I told you I would say Cancer's biggest weakness. And this could almost be its own video, but I'm just going to say it now because I'm an impatient Aries rising. But Cancer's biggest weakness is also its biggest pleasure, and that is familiarity. Familiarity is a Cancer's biggest jail. If you're in the familiarity jail, Cancer, break out. I know it's hard. It's okay to love familiarity, but do not mistake familiarity with safety, with real emotional security. It's not the same thing. Cancers are classic for resisting change because they cling to the past. So let's just say they get with someone, and let's just say they're brave. They're a mama bear Cancer that states their needs and they keep getting denied, or they just stay in mama bear mode. Or let's just say they're a baby Cancer and they have a sweet deal. Everyone else is taking care of them. Whatever situation you're in, the more years you build up into the familiarity bank, it's hard to leave because Cancers, especially if they had a bad childhood, they can be incredibly insecure. And even if you're bad, you're familiar. And the risk of leaving that familiarity is very fear inducing for Cancer type people. So they will just stay in familiarity jail. Well, Mina, how do you break out of familiarity jail? You have to do quality control, my Cancers. You really need to, first of all, get better at regulating your own emotions. Make sure you're investing in yourself first. And if your partner is not positively responding to the work you're doing, that means that they're not investing in you. They should be elated that you're trying to regulate your emotions, my baby Cancers. They should be elated that you mama bear Cancers are trying to state your needs. That's progress. Now, you baby Cancers, you might have just worn people out. So, asterisks there. But if someone's not a part of your growth, if they're not supportive, then that needs to be a big, fat red flag for you to break out of the familiarity prison. And my Cancers, I have been in that jail cell. I have been in familiarity jail. So I know how much it sucks. Yet I've broken out of that, and I also know how freeing that is. And this goes for family, friends, lovers, all of that stuff, even old habits. And it doesn't mean you have to resist familiarity. No, because if that familiar person passes your tests, if they're high quality, you just hit the Cancer lottery. I do. Okay, I'm a Cancer moon. Again, I have a big soft spot and I get excited when I learn about couples who have been together since high school. My parents were those. They were together since middle school. Yet, modernly, do I think that's a lot harder to do? Yes, because we're different now as a society nowadays. But in general, I love that idea. Only if the quality is good, and only you can determine that, Cancer people. And one thing I've learned from Libra is that I just have to shout from the rooftop, Cancer, if you are just in the pits of sadness because of a bad breakup and you're just hung up on an ex, your familiar ex that you spent a lot of years with, if they were legitimately a bad person who did not care about you, like you assess the situation with help and you see it clearly, stop social proofing these assholes. Just stop. You reminiscing to anyone that will listen about how great your ex was and blah, 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 blah. It just makes them into this massive trophy for their new person. And if they didn't earn that, if they did not deserve that, stop singing their praises. You deserve better. And this whole video is about helping increase the Cancerian quality of life. Because Cancers, when they're stuck in a rut, when they're in familiarity jail, or when they're in the past and not the present, they can just really be in a negative world, just thinking about what could have been and how things used to be and blah, 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 blah. It's a bad place to be because when you're stuck in the past in that negative way, you're not making new memories. You're not moving away from it. You're just staying stuck. There's no growth. And I think that's just a really sad spot for Cancers to be at. Cancers, this movie is about increasing your quality of life because when you learn to work on yourself emotionally and not put that work on other people, When you evaluate your familiar people and you really try to clearly see who's quality, who's not, that just increases your quality of life. And that's just going to go up and up each day. And you know you're in the right direction, Cancer, when you get excited about the future because Cancers love the past. And this is a really beautiful part about Cancer people because I think that same astrologer I mentioned earlier, Isa Nakazawa, she said that Cancers are the gatekeepers of memory. I thought that was so beautiful and accurate. I would like to expand on that and say that Cancers are the gatekeepers of their personal emotional journey. Like they keep mementos, they remember everything about their emotional journey. And not just that, they are the memory keepers of everyone close to them. They will remember your big moments and your sad moments and everything. They really do keep collages of their own emotional journey and other people important to them, which is why it's such a beautiful energy. And I would say Cancer's a bonus tip if you made it this far in the video. Astrology is an amazing tool to discover what you find familiar. You will be shocked if you look at the birth charts of the people who took care of you as a kid and even the people around you, your friends, your siblings, and your exes. See what reoccurs. I've seen people that say, "Oh, Pisces moon keeps showing up in everyone I'm trying to get close to." You're seeking comfort in that Pisces moon energy, and you have to ask yourself why. It's kind of like ancestral. It's so Cancer ancestral astrology. You will be shocked what comes up. And then again, only you can deem if that thing that you're comforted by is something safe to chase. At least it gives you something to go on, which is again another reason why I love astrology so much. Cancers, I want to ask, do you have memory boxes? I totally have a memory box of really important mementos of growing up. All that stuff is important because it's who you are. Share with me in the comments if you also have that. And let me know if you want any more Cancer videos. Tell me what resonated. I just want to help you guys. You're my crew, and I hope I made a positive impact. I will see you in the next one. Bye.